Hello everyone, it's Tania Davies here, the Success Slow Coach, speaker, trainer and therapist, and owner of the Mindful Impact Wellness Hub. Today I have the pleasure of introducing you all to Karina Chapman. Welcome, Karina.
Thanks, Tania. Lovely to be here.
Karina is actually an expert in conscious connection. She's also an author, speaker and facilitator, but I'm really interested to actually hear in Karina's own words, what is conscious connection?
That's quite a fair question. So conscious connection is the method of becoming aware of exactly the type of people and relationships that you want to attract into your life. And then once you've gained that clarity, how to actually attract these people into your life. So it's relationships, whether it's in friendships, in business connections and business relationships, or in love.
I was about to say that's pretty universal, isn't it? That can be applied anywhere.
Exactly.
Especially in the workplace. And I hope all those leaders are listening out there because,
Yes.
I mean, this is a concept that I've been going on for quite some time. It's why my business is called Mindful Impact, is because exactly what you're talking about here, relationships come from a place of mutual connection, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And also you want to be conscious of the type of people that you want to connect with. So, what type of people do you want to be working in your organization? What sort of relationships and connections do you want those people to have with each other? And, how can you support and grow that to be able to, grow the tight knitness of your business and increase your business as well, because that's what happens when we
Absolutely.
have good connections.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of your brand, right? I mean, connection is about building that rapport, that personal brand. And if your employees aren't aligned with that and the values that come with being a conscious connector as well, there's brand mismanagement going on there. So you are absolutely hitting it right at the heart of what a business and a brand needs to be, and that is based around conscious connection. So it's why you're here today to talk to everyone with me.
It sure is.
So in terms of the slow leadership movement, one of the reasons I've got you here is you actually do work with a lot of business leaders as well. But I'm curious, I'm going to turn it back on you first. I would love to know your story about how the universe slowed you down, or you consciously, and very, very consciously for you, either decided to slow it down yourself. What's your story in the slow space?
Yes, so so my background is in the hair and beauty industry. And there was a time, quite a while ago now, where I decided to go into business with another girl that I knew. And in hindsight, I can see that it wasn't a well thought through decision. I wasn't using conscious connection at all back then. And, it just sounded like a good idea and we went for it. So we researched, we ended up investing in a business that was a going concern.
Right.
And 3 weeks after the swap over, our clients dropped by 95%.
Wow.
So what happened there was that we'd signed a contract with the previous owner to not work within a 3-kilometre space from the salon, and he opened up virtually around the corner.
Right.
So, we had the choice of going to see if there was anything we could do through lawyers, which if we had a spare $20,000, we could have, which we did not at the time.
Yeah.
So we really had to slow down and go, where are we? We need to spend time reassessing our business, because what we've bought now is not what has eventuated. So rather than just busily working and trying to get more people in and trying to do something, we did need to step back and slow down.
Yeah. Wow. Well, what a very horrific jolt to the system.
It was very difficult, I have to say, and it took a long time to turn it around. Put strategies in place, have business coaching, and find ways to increase that business before we went broke, basically.
Yeah. And what kind of toll did it take on you personally as well as your relationship?
It was very difficult, very difficult. Yeah, every day, you would be wondering if you could pay the bills, if you could pay your rent. If you could, I do recall at one stage budgeting for a $6 mascara,
Yeah.
and crying when I had to provide a $20 fruit platter
Yeah.
to a business group meeting, thinking, oh my God, $20 whole.
Yeah.
So it was a very big wake up call. I had to go within and I had to really find the strength and strategies to move forward. And I could only do that by slowing down and stepping back and looking as the observer, and then realizing that, number one, I should have used conscious connection when I was choosing a business partner.
Yep.
Because I also had the problem that 9 months in, this business partner gave me a call and said, that's it. I can't do this anymore.
Yep.
I can't ever come in again. And I'm stepping away.
Wow.
So there was no discussion even of, you know, what we might do with the business together. She just sort of, you know, hands off and walked away. So I learned a lot from that connection that was not well thought through.
Yeah.
We didn't have the same values and core beliefs to be able to continue a good relationship. And unfortunately, the values and beliefs of the previous owner that we bought it from weren't congruent either.
Yeah, absolutely. You've hit on a really important thing that I do with a lot of my coaching clients as well, is making sure they're fully aware of values as they're moving to any situation. The values of the new business they're about to move into, the values of their partner they're about to get engaged with, etc. Values are so important because it'll drive our beliefs. And if we're smart enough, it's where we'll create our boundaries, right?
Absolutely. That's so true.
Yeah.
And, you know, for all relationships, if our core values are not matching, then the relationships won't last, whether it is in romance, in friendships, or in business.
Yeah, it's certainly why I moved away from the corporate space. For me, one of my highest values is authenticity and integrity. And, you know, that's a boundary that can only get trodden on so many times before you have to take responsibility and action for yourself instead of blaming other people, which, you know, I'm sure I did that for a while there in my own little pity party. We all have them. Until you have to realise that you've got to put your big girl pants on and get on with life and take action.
Exactly.
So, yeah,
exactly.
Very much that conscious connection, but it's so interesting to hear people's versions of what happens when they slow down. I'm curious, from your perspective, what do you think is the biggest struggle for people in the business world when it comes to slowing down?
Honestly, I think it's actually missing out on the opportunity to schedule in time to think. If I do not schedule time to think and reflect and really look at my business from the observer point of view, then I can't really see exactly what's going on around me.
Yeah.
Things are happening and you miss things. So if you can really slow down to schedule some time for yourself, to really think about the staff, think about the relationships, think about the business as a whole, and to observe it from, you know, from stepping away. It's like a relationship. If you're in a relationship with someone really close, you can't kind of see what's going on. But you can certainly see what's happening with your friend's partner and her, and you can see what's happening in that other person over their's relationship, and you can't see your own. So I think that slowing down and stepping back to look at it from the observer point of view gives you a much better opportunity to see where you need to put your attention in your business.
Absolutely. It also allows you to step away from the heavy emotion of it as well. Because
Exactly.
as you would know, when you're in the emotion of something, especially an intimate relationship, that kind of thing, but even in a conflict situation at work, you can't think clearly in that space when the emotion is so embedded in it. So exactly what you said, to be able to step away from to a safe distance where you can still, I guess, have that clarity of mind to make those really clean decisions without the emotion hanging on it is important.
Exactly. And if you can step away and see that a decision needs to be made, but you can't come to that decision, then the next step is to use meditation. And, you know, put that question out, you know, is it this, is it that, whatever the question is that you have that you need the answer to, and just really sit very quietly and listen for the answer, because we always know what it is, and we can spend a lot of time consciously, will I do this, you know, this is for or this against it, this is this, you know. And really, if we just actually slow down, stop everything, meditate on what the answer is, it'll come to us much faster and with much less hassle and struggle.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm a massive believer in what you said. We've all got the answers already. We're just so clouded with all the busy noise and white noise that goes on that we just don't trust ourselves enough to sit in our own stillness and truly tap into exactly what you've said, that level of understanding and awareness that we already have. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I'm interested to know those people that have been really influential in your life. Who's stepped up and given you the best advice when it comes to slowing down your world?
You know, I'm a big reader, Tania, especially being a writer. I've always had a massive love of reading. So my favorite author, Paulo Coelho, who's
Love it. Yep.
you may have heard of, he's
Yes.
rather famous.
The Alchemist. Yeah.
I really love how he intertwines contemplation and time for reflection that in his stories. And I think that was one of the first influences on me. Also, when I had, in relationship breakdowns over time, then that's, lots of self-reflection and growth available there. So Tony Robbins, I really enjoyed a lot of his things.
Yeah.
And I did a lot of core value stuff around there. But I think that if you surround yourself with people that are where you want to be,
Yep.
then each day you can be inspired by them, as well as other mentors that maybe you're not having contact with all the time. But certainly, business coaches, people that are inspiring to you, the more that we hang out with those sort of people, then they do rub off on us, and it makes a difference.
Absolutely. I mean, we all know the famous words from Sam Cawthorn from the Speakers Institute, like proximity is power. I totally agree with it. And that even comes down to what you're reading, what you're watching. It's not just who you're hanging out with. I mean, technically, in the big scheme of things, you are hanging out with those characters that you're watching on Netflix. So just be aware of the influence they do have on you.
That's right. Exactly. And the power of your own thoughts too.
Yeah.
If you're busy thinking about what somebody else did, or what some character did, or the latest reality TV show, then that's crowding your brain with things you don't really need, and there's no space for you to be able to concentrate on those things that are really important to you.
Yeah, absolutely. And not only that, you're also giving, I mean, I'm a hypnotherapist by trade, so that's my space. You're also giving yourself a direct command when you listen to some of those things. So be very aware of what your brain's taking in, especially when you're in a trance state watching, I don't know, the latest Netflix program, whatever's out there. I don't watch that much of it. But I'm really curious, what tools do you use when you know you're starting to heighten and you're just starting to get busy and get into that cycle of life? What tools do you personally use to get you to slow down?
Yeah. So first, when I'm in that stage, I often feel disconnected from myself. So, I want to consciously connect back to myself first. So the best way for me to do that is to firstly go for a walk in nature, allow myself that time to do that, and to just be present and mindful while I'm there. And then once I've done that, then schedule in that time for thinking and for observing, where I am and what I'm doing, and trying to figure out whether I'm being busy doing things that don't really need to be done, or whether I'm doing the important things that are going to move me forward in my business.
They're called distractions, by the way.
Yes. And there might be things that are business related, and needing to be done at some point, but they maybe don't need to be done by you.
That's right.
And, if there's someone else that can step up and do that, then that's smart business, isn't it? Getting other people to delegate tasks there while you can concentrate on the things that no one else can do.
Absolutely. When I'm playing with the small pieces of my business, I know I'm distracting from something bigger. So yeah, I'm hearing you 100% on that one. So look, we're human. We're all here. We're making mistakes right royally every day. What are still some of your biggest challenges in this space of slowing down?
I think because I am doing a lot of different things, from teaching and creating courses to still doing some study at the moment, to writing new books, as well as I've got one that's just about to come out. So that's in the final stages of formatting. So because I have lots of different things that are going on, sometimes I feel like I might miss one of them or forget something important about one. So I really have to be quite, I'm a list person. So once I've got it down the list and it's out of my head, then it'll get done at some point. If not today, it'll get done tomorrow. But it just helps you to move forward when you've got lots of things on, and to put them in order of what's important.
How do you stop the list from getting overwhelming?
Well, I just accept that I will do as much as I possibly can on each day. And if it doesn't get done today, it gets an arrow and on to the next day. And I also have things that make it easier to see what's absolutely important and imperative that I need to do. So I'll have things that are either urgent or they're important, or they're urgent and important.
Yeah, good.
So I'll go through and make a list of that first and, you know, sort of schedule which ones are that. And then the other ones are just things that if you've got time to do that, then that's great. If not, it's fine to go till tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that just helps me to be a lot more focused on getting the important things ready and done for moving forward.
And then, you know, just to add on to what you said a minute ago, there's a fourth category there, and that's the delegate basket.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I mean, at the moment, I've got the task of formatting the books delegated. So into ebook format and into print is really a very specialized skill. So rather than me spending all of that time to learn how to do that and have it look professional, why wouldn't I delegate it to someone else that already has that?
Absolutely.
That skill.
Yeah. And keeping everyone employed too. That's really important at the moment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Energy flow. You know, we want to keep that going between us all.
Yeah.
And, you know, it gives me more time to focus on, say, writing my next novel rather than spending hours upon hours formatting something that somebody else could be doing.
Yeah.
And my business will move forward faster.
Your talent and everyone that reads your books wants you to focus on that, so trust me.
I've had a few of my clients say, you know, when's the next one coming out? I was like, it's coming.
In between all those other things you're juggling. So I'm curious to know, as a conscious connector, what do you think the businesses out there can benefit? How do you think they can benefit from truly training people to become conscious leaders? How are you going to see that ripple effect across the business?
I think that it would change the way that business was almost done, you know, because if you are first or become conscious as a leader yourself of what your own core values are, then you can even right from the start incorporate that in your interview process for onboarding new people.
Yes.
Because the more people that you can get in alignment with your core values, the longer and more deeper relationships that you're going to have, and you're less likely to have to invest more money and time into finding new people. You know, you'll have those that will stay much longer because they resonate with your values and your business. So starting to become conscious yourself first of that particular thing and getting clarity can change your entire business and your entire lot of processes that you have.
Well said. I love that. Like, it is all areas. When I first heard about your conscious connection idea, I'm like, yeah, this lady knows exactly what she's talking about. And look, I want the world to know about all of your books and how we can get in contact with you. So do you have a book that you can wave around so we can see what you're
Actually, yes, I do. So this is Adventure Vixen, and that's the first book in the series, and the series is called The Vixen's Secret Handbook. So Adventure Vixen is a modern dating tale.
Yeah.
So it's about a girl that goes against general dating rules and dates several people at once for the learning that she can get from it.
Yep.
So, and as we were talking about slowing down and getting answers, I wanted to write a book that was non-fiction rather than fictional around, you know, connecting in relationships, specifically romantic relationships. So in a meditation, the title of my book came to me.
Love it.
Which is so simple. I can't believe it. I'd never actually thought of it, but it's perfect. So to tie in with this, it will be Do Date the Wrong Men.
Yep. I love that title.
So yeah, so we can learn how to do that. And I also have a group for women called Vixens of Light, and that's on Facebook. And I have Vixens of Light journal and also some merchandise that goes with it. And I teach a program called Finding Mr. Right, and also Finding Your Tribe, because, you know, it's not just in business that we're looking for connections. We've all been so separated lately that it's actual friendships that we're not as connected with as well. Yeah. So, you know, we want to find those people that are resonating on the same page as us, have the same interests, the same core values, so we can create some new long-term friendships as well.
Yeah, And I think we also need to add a little element in there of helping people through their fears of connecting again.
Yes.
Because after having been, disconnected for so long now with all the ups and downs that is COVID, especially in Australia with all the lockdowns, etc., that we've been going through, I think what you're absolutely talking about here is fundamental in bringing people back together again and trusting each other.
Yes, absolutely. And did you know that research shows at the moment that 1 in 4 around the whole world is experiencing higher levels of loneliness than ever before?
Yeah.
So now is the time that we really do need to connect with each other and find a way to connect back together after really being, so separated.
Absolutely. Karina, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure for myself, and I'm going to be including all of your details for your website, your books, all of your links that we can possibly get in contact with you.
Fabulous.
Look, again, everybody, if you want to personally work with Karina, just check out all the links that I'm going to put below. Please comment, share, like, spread the word, because I think Karina and I are very much on the same page. When it comes to conscious connection, I don't think there is any other way to lead an organization or even lead the household that you're in other than through conscious connection. So thank you so much for joining me today. It's been my pleasure.
Such a pleasure. Thanks, Tania.
Take care.
You too.